Hello my loves, it's Jackie and Jackie's Cooking. So today we're going to go the southern route. I'm not southern, but my husband is, so he wanted me to do something really cute and for him and everything. So we are making some honey mustard roasted chicken backs with my delicious honey, brown sugar, cornbread. Yes indeed, it's so good, it's delicious. A lot of times we don't know what to do with chicken backs, but I'm going to show you. My loves, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go ahead and do so. And don't forget to press that notification bell so you can get weekly updates on all of my recipes. Don't forget to like and don't forget to share. Please let everybody know Jackie's Cooking. Okay guys, so these are our ingredients. I have the ingredients here for our roasted chicken backs. I'm gonna give you the ingredients for the honey brown sugar cornbread. Okay, so we have about 4 pounds of chicken backs I've already cleaned. Don't forget to clean your poultry, because if you don't, people will talk about you. Okay, and then we have some black pepper, we have some oregano, we have basil, we have mustard, of course, honey, chili paste, we have some green seasoning. I brought this from the supermarket. I didn't have time to make it, but it's good too. Okay, even though I prefer my own. But okay, we have some Creole seasoning. We have some celery. I love cooking with celery now. I'm on this celery hype, okay? It really, really lends beautiful flavor. And we have some seasoning salt. So now we have our ingredients for our cornbread. We have some some honey, butter, guys, real butter. We have some milk. I have 2 eggs here. We have some oil, I have flour, I have brown sugar, some fine cornmeal, and some baking powder. All right, my loves, the ingredients are listed in the description box below. All right, so let's get started. All right, so I'm going to cut my celery into the pan, and the reason why I'm using this as some kind of a bed, so I like to lay when I make roasted chicken or whatever, I like to lay my chicken pieces, whole chicken, on the celery. Okay, really adds beautiful flavor. We have our clean chicken backs, and we're going to start seasoning it. Okay, this is a honey mustard, so we're going to start off with some mustard. Okay, eventually I had to change pots because I'm like, okay, Jackie, what are you doing? You know you can't season it on this plate like that. So of course I'm going to change and put everything into a pot so I could really get in there and season everything. And a lot of times people don't know what to do with chicken backs. They just think it's just, you know, they don't have no meat on it, but it's pretty meaty. It really is. All right, so we're adding our mustard. I am going to add some of my Creole Seasoning. It's by Tony Chercheries. It's really, really good. I love using it. They have this one, which is a mild one, and I think a hot one as well. Okay, so we're going to put that bad boy in there. Okay, and again, this is inexpensive. I think I paid, what, $2 and change for 4 pounds of chicken backs. Okay, and trust me, when you roast them, I love roasting them. Especially when you make a Saturday meal, which this is, they are really, really good. Okay, so we added our Tony Chercheries. And now, my loves, we are going to add some black pepper. Okay, again, you could add as much black pepper as you want. Okay, but I'll leave my measurements below. But if you want to add less, add less. If you want to add more, add more. Okay. Okay, so now we are going to sprinkle in some oregano. I'm then adding some basil. Okay. I'm adding my seasoning salt. And we are going to add, of course, our green seasoning. I need this in my life. Green seasoning. I do have a recipe for it. I think I've mentioned that in practically all my videos. But, you know, it really is good to cook with. It's like the base. It has cilantro. It has parsley. Well, it depends. Everybody makes it differently. But, of course, the main thing is onion, peppers, garlic, cilantro, and all that good stuff. And this is really a really good base for all your cooking. And I'm pretty sure all my Caribbean people understand what I'm talking about. Okay? All right, so we're adding that in there. Okay, now I'm adding some brown sugar. I forgot to mention to you guys before that we are going to need some brown sugar. Okay, in this, and this is gonna help. It just helps balance the flavor, and on top of that, it helps push that honey as well too. That honey mustard flavor. Okay, now I'm adding my chili paste. I love this stuff. That chili paste. Every time I go to the supermarket, I gotta grab that stuff. Okay. All right. So now, my loves, we are going. Make sure your hands are clean. Make sure you clean your nails. Look up under the nails and use what God gave you and start mixing all the spices and herbs and all that stuff into the meat. Okay? Just make sure your hands are clean. All right? Okay, so I'm just, making sure everything gets into those little crevices and so forth. A lot of times, people don't understand that, you be wasting money. I mean, you could roast it, you could curry it, you can make a stew out of it, you could use it for broth. But a lot of times people just want to take it and throw it away. I'm like, why are you doing that? It has meat on it. It's good to nibble on, okay? Especially on Saturdays when you have that little Saturday meal. All right, so now I am going to take it and I am going to take this meat and I am going to lay it on the celery. I'm using the celery as a bed. So when all the juices drip down, not only is the celery flavor going to go into the meat, and the flavor is going to mix with the juices. Such great flavor. And especially when this is done, that celery that was roasted in there, oh my God, I will chomp on that. Oh, so good. All right, so we're taking the rest of our seasoning and we're just pouring it on our chicken, and I'm going to bake this in a 375-degree oven. Okay, until I would say for about 35 minutes, uncovered. Okay, and you're just gonna let it until it starts to get nice and brown on one side. All right, so now we're going to get started on our honey brown sugar cornbread. I don't know why I'm trying to act like I have a twang. Okay, Jackie. Anyway, we have some honey. Okay, I'm using that clover honey. I got butter, pure butter. Butter is butter, margarine is margarine. Okay, we have some milk, we have eggs, we have oil, we have flour, light brown sugar, we have some fine cornmeal, grounded cornmeal, and we have baking powder. All right, my loves? So these are our ingredients. So now we are going to take our flour. What I'm going to do, I'm going to mix all my dry ingredients together. And when I made this, because I don't know, I think it's a gift that God gives me. I could think of a recipe in my head and I got to run in the kitchen to bake and create it. And when it comes out right the first time, I'm like, wow, this came out exactly the way I wanted it. Now we added our cornmeal. And the pan that I'm going to make my cornbread in, I got the butter melting, okay? So we are going to melt the butter, Okay, now I'm adding my baking powder. We're going to melt the butter. So if you want to bake it in a skillet, melt your butter in the skillet. But I'm melting mine on a pan, as you can see on that left corner. Okay, and I'm gonna pour half of that into this batter, and the remaining half is gonna stay in the pan. Okay. Oh yes, and you're going to need salt. This is my fault because I didn't express that in the ingredient list, but we need salt. Okay, so we're adding all that in there. And I wanted the sweetness to be balanced, so equal parts of the brown sugar and the honey. Okay, if you want it a little sweeter, that's up to you. I think it was fine. It may be a little too sweet for you, or you may want to cut back a little bit on the sugar. So, you know, play around with this recipe. Okay, so I'm taking some light brown sugar. Okay, I would say lightly packed. You know, lightly pack your brown sugar into this. All right, so now I'm just gonna make sure, and I just want to make sure, because usually brown sugar has clumps in it, and just mix my dry ingredients together. Okay, and now we're going to work on our wet ingredients. Okay, we're going to take our eggs, and we are going to beat those eggs. Okay. Okay, we're using some large eggs here. Okay, and with cornbread, I think this, especially the honey brown sugar, I think that would be great in stuffing too. Oh my God, that would be so good. I must have devoured this last night, guys. I'm serious. Okay, so now we're adding our milk. I'm adding whole milk. Whatever milk. If you have carnation milk, you can add carnation milk if you want. Okay. I'm gonna add my honey. I pretty much could eye it. So if you're not used to cooking or baking, use a measuring cup. But for people that cook a lot, you know, we don't really measure. We pretty much eye it, you know what I'm saying? But I was able to put down the correct measurements. So now, my loves, I'm going to take half of this melted butter. Okay, half of this melted butter, and I'm going to add it in our wet mixture, and the rest is going to stay in there, and I'm going to pour the cornbread batter in there. Okay, so I'm going to take some of that butter, and now I'm going to take some oil. Okay, and that oil too is going to help it be moist, really, really moist. Oh my, when I told you I went in on this cornbread, but thank God I don't make cornbread every time. This is like once in a blue moon. Thank God I don't, because I went in. Okay, so now we mixing this together. Okay, we're just gonna give that a nice mix. If you want to add vanilla, you can. Okay, I didn't add any vanilla in this. I didn't think it was necessary, but if you want to, you could add about a good teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of vanilla in this, okay? So now we're going to pour our wet ingredients into our dry, and we are going to mix this until smooth. I would say about a good minute, okay? Until you don't see no lumps. Do not overmix it. That's another thing. You don't want to overmix it. You want to mix it until it's nice and smooth, but don't overmix it because you don't want it to be tough. And this is something to, you could have cornbread just like that in the morning. So it doesn't necessarily have to be for dinner. You could have it in the morning for breakfast. You could make this into little corn muffins. Ooh, that would be good. Some nice honey brown sugar corn muffins. Okay, so now as you see, I have the rest of my melted butter in that pan, and I am just going to pour that batter in all that beautiful butter. So it's nice and buttery. Oh my God, and I mean moist. You're gonna see for yourself, okay? You're definitely gonna see for yourself. And all that butter that you see is going to just marry right into that batter. Amazing. All right, so this is going to go on I put it in 375. If you want to put it at 400, you can, but I put it in a 375-degree oven for about 35 to 40 minutes until the center springs back lightly, or you insert it with a toothpick and it comes out clean. All right, so now we are going to make our honey mustard. Now the honey mustard is all based according to you. I'm going to leave the ingredients for you, the measurements for you, but I like to add more honey than mustard. Some people may prefer a little bit more twang than sweetness, but I preferred more sweetness than twang, like the twang from the mustard and the sweetness from the honey. Okay, so again, I'm leaving the measurements for you, but you could play with it. If you want it to be a little bit more twangy, add some more mustard. If you want it to be a little bit more sweet, add more sweetness. So you got to taste, okay? Part of cooking is also tasting your food, okay? Okay, that's the whole point. So I did decide to add it. It was good, but I wanted it to be a little smidge sweeter. I'm still tasting the mustard, but not as much of that twanginess, but I'm getting the essence of the sweetness. Still getting the undertone of the twang. All right, so we took this out of our oven, okay, uncovered. Now we're just flipping it over because I want the other side to start getting some color as well. I'm telling you, these chicken backs, people be sleeping on chicken backs. Let me tell you, I don't care what y'all say. You could talk about me and be like, chicken backs. Listen, especially when money's tight. All right, so I took them out of the oven. The other side was roast, got nice color. Okay, as you can see. And now I'm going to take my delicious honey mustard sauce and I am going to spoon it over my chicken backs. And after that, we're going to flip it over and take the glaze on the bottom and put it on the other side and let it roast. Oh my God. Really good, I'm telling you. It's another creative way of making chicken backs. You can, there's so many different other ways. You can make chicken backs in soups. You can curry it. You could, so many things you can be creative with. So this is my creative way of making it. I love honey, anything with chicken and honey mustard I love. Okay, so we're gonna put that back in the oven. Okay, I put it back in the oven for about a good about 10 minutes. Okay, so that glaze could get a little thicker. Then we're gonna flip it over. And now I'm going to take that glaze on the bottom. So let's flip it over first. Okay. And we are going to coat the other side with our honey mustard. If you want to have more honey mustard sauce, you can double the recipe. Okay, you could definitely double the glaze. So you could spoon over your chicken, because it is good over some rice now. I ain't gonna lie to you. That honey mustard is good over that rice. Let me let you know now. I'm telling you. Okay. Now, this is our cornbread. I gotta always be extra. I guess that's the Gemini in me. We're gonna take we have our delicious honey brown sugar cornbread. And let me tell you something. When you make this, I'm telling you, it's just so good. If you want to add some more butter, smack some more butter on it, you can. And my loves, this is it right here. Okay, I wasn't playing. Let me tell you something. I mean, I wasn't planning on making collard greens and rice. I really wasn't. But when you get in the kitchen, you know, when your spirit starts talking to you, and listen, when the spirit starts talking to you, just go in. So we have some delicious white rice with mixed vegetables in it. We have our delicious honey brown sugar cornbread, so moist, so moist. And we have our delicious roasted honey mustard chicken backs. Oh, baby, let me let you know. And we have some collard greens. Listen, it wasn't the plan to make all of this, not like this, but listen. Oh, I also have a glass of not Kool-Aid, it's fruit punch. Okay. All right, so let's taste this. Take that first bite. It is so, let me tell you, it's so moist. It's so moist. Okay? Take that first bite. That's what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, I mean, I wasn't, thank God I do not do this every day. I went in the fridge, cut me a piece in the middle of the night. Oh my God. So now we're going to taste our chicken backs. I wanted to pick it up with my hand, but I wanted to be a lady. Okay? So we are taking some collard greens, some rice, and some of that chicken. But you know, after I got off this, you think I did not go in on this? I went in on it. I had my hands all up in it. I didn't use no fork, but I just gotta, I just want to give you a nice professional, ladylike, but you eat this however you want, because no one could judge you, okay? But guys, this was so good. I hope you try this recipe. I want you to try it. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe. Please continue to share love. Bye.